Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'll be showing you guys the best tier list for every single role in the game. So if you just want to skip around in the video for the tier list for Dragon Lane, Baron Lane, Jungle, you can just find timestamps in the description. And as always, I'm giving away 5 skins every, this whole month. And all you gotta do to enter is put down a comment under this video and other videos that I uploaded during March. So let's get into it. The first tier list is already very interesting, but I don't want to start at the top. I want to start at Ziggs, okay? Because I did Ziggs very dirty in the last tier list. Let's look at Ziggs. He is in the S tier, but he's at the back of the S tier. So as you can see, I put Aurelion, Akali, and Corki above him, but I think Ziggs is better than any other mid laner. Let me explain to you why, okay? And you know what? I'm gonna do something funny. If this video reaches 1,000 likes today, I'll play all night today to get you guys a Ziggs video for tomorrow. I swear to God, I'm gonna do that. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll play all night today. Actually, not today, tomorrow, because today I'm going drinking with my friends. I'll play all night tomorrow and make a Ziggs video right now and prove to you that Ziggs is S tier, okay? So, if you guys wanna see it, do that. Ziggs, let me tell you a few things that Ziggs can do that no one else can do. Ziggs can push towers incredibly fast as a mid laner. I think he is the fastest turret pusher in the whole game. And secondly, when you are full build, you can get towers even though when they have a barrier. Listen to what I'm saying. Even though towers have a barrier, so there are no minions close, Ziggs can still get the tower in like 5 or 6 seconds. You might not believe me, but trust me. I'll make sure that I do it in the video of Ziggs, okay? Trust me. So if you want to see it, make sure to give the video a like. Okay, let's start the actual tier list now. Orianna is undisputably S+ tier. There is no other mid laner that does what Orianna does. She does incredible damage. It's very easy in the lane. All you gotta do is shoot your ball, deal damage, and you'll be fine. She's incredibly strong in the late game too. She has good ganking ability. Orianna is definitely S+ tier. No one comes even close to her. The next one is Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol is S tier because Aurelion can gank so well. Aurelion has a passive that makes him faster when you move towards one direction, which means if you want to gank bot lane or top lane, you can just go and you'll get bonus movement speed. And on top of that, you can charge up your first ability to get a huge stun. That is the power of Aurelion. Aurelion Sol is only S tier if you gank with him. After that, we have Akali. Akali is the best assassin in the game. She is just so strong. But the point with Akali is she's incredibly hard to play. I've been practicing Akali now. I played like I think 15 games with her and I'm still really bad with her. The thing about Akali is if you are really good at Akali, she is S tier. She's definitely S tier. Not S+, but S tier. Her team fighting is incredible. Her laning phase can be a little hard, but with fleet footwork, you should be fine. She's just all in all an amazing assassin. After that, we have Corki. Corki's laning phase is also really, really nice because of his poking ability. His first ability, his third ability is really good for dealing damage. He just wins lanes, right? He also counters Aurelion Sol. That's also a good point. Corki is obviously really strong against tanks as well because he shreds the armor. But the thing is, he's also strong against squishies. He is just all in all a really, really strong champion in the mid lane right now. Another great thing about Corki is his package. He gets his first package when the first dragon spawns. When you can get your package before the dragon, it's a huge power spike. Huge. So with Corki, you want to capitalize on the first package during the dragon, right? Okay, here we have the new champion Katarina on top of the A tier. Not in the S tier, but all the way at the end of the A tier. Now, she is strong, okay, guys? She is strong. And I feel like she might even be here in the S tier, but I've put her here for now. I think that she is incredibly strong, but it's just that people are not good at her yet. I've already seen some good Katarina players, but I feel like there can be way more in Katarina. Her kit is just so incredible. And she is an amazing assassin. She can go in, go out. She has many different combos. She can also go in and do her all-in combo to deal massive damage. She has a lot of things to do. And I think that she needs to be discovered. I really suggest you guys to give her a try and really practice her to get good at her. Because I feel like she might even fit in the S tier. So I'm not going to talk about all the champions here that much as I do here. Because otherwise the video would take too long. Yasuo is a great champion if you pair him with Alistar, Malphite, Lee Sin. You know, champions to combo with. Ahri is good if you can snowball. Ahri is really good with snowball. I made an Ahri video yesterday, so if you want to watch that, make sure to check it out. Twisted Faith has amazing ganking, amazing stun. When you pick Twisted Faith, make sure you have damage in your team because Twisted Faith is utility. He stuns for a really long time. Gragas, I don't like Gragas in the mid lane, but Gragas all around is just an amazing champion. Zed is a really strong assassin, but he doesn't really fit in the meta. He got nerfed and his item path got nerfed, so he doesn't really fit really well. Also, Lulu counters him pretty hard. And here, we just have some random laners. I'm not even gonna talk about them. So, that was the mid lane. Now, onto the dragon lane. And as you can see, there is no one in the S+ tier. Now, that might be a little weird, you say, right? But let me tell you why. Right now, in the bot lane, there is no broken ADC, okay? These three are just the best. Like, they are actually so much, like, they are so good, okay? Kai'Sa is, in my opinion, the best ADC because Kai'Sa is, like, always a good pick. You don't really need to pair Kai'Sa with anything to be good. Xayah is starting to rise, guys. Xayah got a huge buff last patch, and she is damn strong, okay? I promise you that she is strong. She's not easy to play, but she is very, very, very strong. She is, like, her damaging is not the best, but her utility is so amazing. Her ultimate can dodge anything. Her third ability can root enemies. And she just, like, she can deal a lot of damage to multiple targets at the same time. She's just a really, really good pick. Jinx has dropped from the S+ to S because of the Lulu nerf. Jinx was S+ tier because of Lulu. Now she's S tier. She's still an incredible champion in the late game. But with the Blade of the Rune King nerf, it also hit her pretty hard, you know? So Jinx is not going to be as strong anymore, but still definitely a solid pick. Miss Fortune, if I could personally decide where to put Miss Fortune, I'd put her all the way here. But I still see some people have success on her. It's just, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to put her here. Here. This is a good... This. Okay. Let's keep it like this. Miss Fortune is just... She falls off so hard in a late game. And I really, really don't like her in the current patch. Like, Braum counters her so hard. She can get dived upon. She just... I don't know, man. Like, Blade of the Rune King nerf hit her pretty hard too. Like, you'd have to go for crit on her now. It's just not as good as she's just not good anymore because of the Blade of the Rune King nerf. It was a core item on her. Ezreal is starting to rise, guys. They buffed Ezreal a little bit again. They buffed his first ability. So you can do good poking with him. Ezreal's really, really nice. And I suggest you to pair Ezreal with Braum. Ezreal on Braum is incredibly strong because when Braum shoots his first ability, Ezreal can proc it with his basic attack and his first ability, you know? So you can get a stun very easily with Ezreal. So Ezreal and Braum, try that, guys. Draven has risen a little bit, and the reason for that is because Alistar is incredibly strong. We'll get to the support tier list later, but let me tell you, Draven Alistar, this combo is devastating. They nerfed the other supports like Lulu, which made Draven indirectly better because Draven doesn't really pair well with Lulu, but he pairs incredibly well with Alistar. So Draven has more snowballing potential because now he can, you know, with Alistar or Draven on his own, he's just going to be incredibly strong as an ADC, but you have to keep snowballing with Draven. Jhin has risen a little bit. He's still bad, but it's like, as I said, Lulu got nerfed and Lulu sucked with Jhin. So that's why Jhin indirectly got a little better. I'm not going to talk too much about him. Jhin is only, I think Jhin is only going to be successful with you if you're like a one-trick Jhin. You really, really have to be good with Jhin. Ashe is good because of her slows and stuff, right? Because Ashe she's not amazing, she's just good. Like she doesn't deal as much damage as any of the ADCs here. All the ADCs in the list deal more damage than her. But she has the amazing stun, and it's pretty much all about the stun. If you hit an amazing stun in a team fight, you can get a free kill and win the fight. And also another thing with Ashe is when you catch out an enemy, when you're a little ahead, you'll be able to kill them because you'll slow them. But the problem of Ashe is early game. She is so weak in the early game, but when you get through the early game, her slowing is really, really nice because as I said, enemies cannot escape. You'll just slow them. So here, quickly, Corki can work as the ADC, but I don't really recommend it. Vayne. Now, Vayne is a little rough. I'm going to talk a little more about Vayne because even though she's low on the list, I think Vayne could possibly be like A+ tier if you picked it in the right comp. Now, against who should you pick Vayne? Let me tell you. You should pick it against tanks, especially Alistar. Now, let me tell you some other champions that Vayne is incredibly strong at. Alistar, Nasus, Mundo, Garen, Graves. You know, all these tank melee champions, Vayne is really, really nice against. So I suggest you to pick up Vayne when you're against these tanky targets. And here you might think, why the hell is Yasuo here? Guys, let me tell you why Yasuo is here. I've seen some strategies where people pick Yasuo ADC, and on all other roles, they go for knock-up champions like Alistar like Malphite, like Lee Sin, like, you know, Nami, whatever. So obviously it sucks, but that's why it's in C tier as well. Okay, onto the jungle tier list. On S+ tier, we have Evelynn. Guys, Evelynn is just so strong right now. It's incredible. She is definitely the best jungler right now, and that's because she provides everything. She's an amazing ganker because wards cannot reveal her. She can come gank you and you will not see her. That's the stupid thing about Evelynn. Evelynn has incredible burst in the late game. First of all, when you manage to snowball with Evelynn, the game is over because you're gonna keep killing them. Secondly, even if you lose the game, if you get to late game with Evelynn and you have your full items, you're a one-shot. You one-shot champions. That's the problem. Thirdly, why Evelynn is incredibly strong is because she can deal the biggest smite damage from all the other champions. Let me tell you, when you play Evelynn jungle, you can secure objectives by doing smite plus ultimate. If you do these two combined, no one is gonna outsmite you. So you can just get dragons when you're in a 5v5 situation because you outsmite the enemy jungler. And it is really nice to steal objectives like Dragon and Baron. If the enemy is doing Baron, you just flash over the wall. You see the Baron at like 3k HP. You just, you wait until it's at like 2k. Then you smite ult and you get it. The enemy has no chance at all to secure it. After that comes Shyvana. Shyvana is just all around a really strong pick in a jungle right now. And especially because some other junglers got nerfed, like Lee Sin and Olaf, that makes Shyvana indirectly a little better. So she's very strong, a very solid pick. Now Wukong, honestly, like these three champions, I had a hard time to decide where to put them. But I put Wukong as the first because I just still really like Wukong. Even though they nerfed his ganking ability because they nerfed his second ability, he's just very strong with his knock-up and his damage. He's just a very solid jungle pick. After that comes Lee Sin. Lee Sin is Lee Sin, right? Lee Sin is still pretty strong. They nerfed him pretty hard, but he's still pretty strong. Like early game damage, amazing. Ganking ability, amazing with his ultimate. Like Lee Sin is a very solid pick. Olaf got nerfed as well. They nerfed his armor, but he's still good, okay? But now you actually have to think when you pick him. Like if the enemy has a lot of CC, then you should pick Olaf. He's not, like maybe he's even here. Actually, I put him at the end of the A tier. He's not even S tier anymore. Because like as I said, the nerf is a pretty big hit because he's not as tanky anymore. When you use your ultimate and you go in all of them, they can kill you easier than before. So yeah. After that, we have Jarvan, guys. Jarvan is incredibly strong in the early game, and Jarvan has risen in the meta. People are playing Jarvan now because he got buffed. And let me tell you that Jarvan is indeed pretty strong. But the problem about Jarvan is he sucks in the late game. You really need to be able to snowball, and you really need to be able to snowball with Jarvan. After that, we have Vi. Now, Vi, it's kind of hard. Like, I really had a rough time in the jungle tier list to decide where to put everyone because they're all of these 6 champions are good, and like they're all really good. And Vi is also really strong because people underestimate Vi. Well, I can't talk. Vi's ultimate is really nice because you can just lock down an enemy with that. And with her kit, you can do a lot of burst damage with your third ability and her first ability, everything when you use your ultimate. So Vi is really nice to assassinate one target very easily. And here, as you can see, we have Camille jungle. I actually put Camille jungle in the B tier because Camille, like I've seen Camille jungle as well, and it's not bad. Definitely not bad, okay? Amumu, he's worse than expected because all he has really is his ultimate. Graves, Gragas, like all these other junglers, I'm not really gonna talk about them. They're just bad. And what? Hey, it's like the last time. Hey, we got the Master Yi tier again. It's the same. To that 0-8 Master Yi in my game 2 months ago. Okay, screw you. Still. All right, next. We have the Baron lane. Now, this one was very interesting. Malphite S+ tier. Let me tell you why Malphite is S+ tier and no one else. Malphite does okay against every matchup, except for Nasus and Vayne. As you can see, Nasus and Vayne are in the B and C tier, but those are pretty much the only champions that can destroy Malphite in his lane, okay? This is a cool little thing that you should know. Nasus actually hard counters Malphite. But let's talk about Malphite. As I said, Malphite, like he's fine against all the other champions. He's not gonna have a rough time in his lane. He has an incredible ultimate that is game-changing. And he's just a really nice tank as well. Like you can play him tank, you can play him ability power. His ultimate is amazing. He's fine in this lane against anyone. He needs a nerf, guys. And you should play him right now. Like, I don't like Malphite, but if you like to play Malphite, play him now. Abuse him. As the second best Baron laner, we have Darius, guys. Darius has risen the list. He is the second best Baron laner in my opinion, because Darius with the buffs is so strong. And if you are good with Darius, if you know how to get your full stacks of Noxian Might during fights, you can utilize the extra heal you get from your first ability to get that extra survivability, and you can just go ham on the enemies, like ham. It's gonna buy you so much more time because you'll get more healing, right? And you got a bigger slow on your third ability. Camille. Guys, Camille is S tier if you're really good with her, okay? Camille is not easy to play. I think Camille is one of the hardest champions in this list. But if you get good at Camille, she has some crazy combos that you can do. Crazy rotations. She's really good at split pushing as well. Camille is a really solid pick in the Baron lane. And that's why I put her at the number 3 best Baron laner. If you haven't given Camille a try yet, definitely do so. She is strong. And I am actually really good at Camille. So if you want, you can watch some of my Camille videos. Just look on YouTube, HellsDevil Camille, and you'll find some videos. Gragas, honestly, Gragas is just a solid pick. Gragas is just super strong. He'll be fine in any laning matchup. Actually, Gragas is also gonna be really good into Malphite because he can keep healing up. And Gragas is just so good in team fights as well with his ultimate and his burst ability, everything. Akali, just like the mid lane, she's like, you know, the same story as when I said about her in the mid lane. Olaf, now Olaf is actually A tier here, not even S tier. And the reason for that is because he's gonna have a really rough time in lane because of the armor nerf, right? Like they nerfed his armor and Olaf is gonna get outtraded more, but still he can be fine. Like when I played Darius, I've been against some Olafs and these Olafs actually won lane against me. And the way that they do it is by bursting. Like you can deal a lot of burst damage as Olaf and then disengage, slow the enemy with your first ability to be able to disengage, right? Jarvan is actually a solid Baron lane pick because Jarvan has really good poking ability with his spear. You can just keep poking with it, and also when you rotate to Dragon, you're gonna help your team a lot. Fiora is, I don't like Fiora as much as I used to before. I put her in S tier before, but she's just like, she's a 1v1 champion and a split pusher. It's basically these two things. And on Fiora, she's really strong if you snowball, but if you're not able to snowball, she's gonna be incredibly weak. Cannon, I don't like Cannon, guys. Like, Cannon is actually so weak right now. Like, honestly, he's just weak. Let's just keep him here, but he's not good anymore, okay? He only works in some matchups if you think you can destroy the enemy with your ultimate, but, you know, tanks are able to just tank your ultimate very easily now because it deals way less damage. Jax is incredible at split pushing. Incredible at split pushing. He's so fast with split pushing, and if Jax snowballs, he gets very strong. But it's the same story as Fiora, really. Jax is only good if you snowball with him. Wukong, I don't like Wukong in the top lane. Like, I really don't, actually. Like, maybe even put him here. I'm not even kidding. But let's keep him here. Wukong is just, I put him here because you can play him. I don't recommend you to play him in the top lane, or Baron, I should say, but he's there, you know. Nasus actually on top of the B tier, guys. This is not bad for Nasus because I feel like Nasus is underrated. Nasus can be incredibly strong, especially against the S plus tier. You know what? Here, let's put Nasus over here at the A tier. Because why? Let me tell you why. The main reason is because Malphite is broken and Nasus counters Malphite. This is a thing you need to know, guys. I'm pretty sure you have not heard about this too often, but I just really suggest you to pick Nasus when you're against a Malphite. You'll be able to easily farm and then get to the late game to help your team a lot with all of your stacks, right? Nasus is a really solid pick. I have a million Nasus videos, so if you really want to learn Nasus, make sure to check it out on the channel. And here, honestly, all these champions are situational. Zed can be good if you feel like you can assassinate enemies really well. Singed is only good for one-trick Singed players. Like, Singed can be good, but he's not going to be good if you're not a one-trick Singed. Yasuo good if you have a lot of knockups. Mundo against a lot of ability power if you want to have a tank. Garen is just a pick for brain-dead people. Graves, really, like, Graves... Like, these picks, no. Vayne, actually... Wait, let's talk about Vayne again. Vayne, I put her in C tier, but she can be A tier when you're against a lot of tanks. You see that? When you're against a lot of tanky champions, you can pick Vayne in the top lane. But please, let me tell you, make sure you have other tanks in your team if you pick Vayne in the top lane, because you're going to lack a tank, right? Okay, on to the last tier list, which is the support tier list. And as you can see, there is a huge gap between Alistar and the rest. Now, Alistar, guys... Alistar is so damn broken. It's actually insane. They nerfed Lulu, which is gonna make Alistar even stronger. It's just so good. I'm not even gonna talk about why. Like, it's obvious. You have these amazing combos. You can turret dive, use your ultimate in teamfights. You can be a frontline. You have a knock up. You have a push away. You have a stun. You have everything. You even have sustain with your passive. It's just insane. If you want to win a game, whenever you can pick Alistar, pick Alistar. After that, we have Braum. Braum is actually good into Alistar. That's why Braum is S tier actually. Because whenever Alistar dives your team, you can put your Braum shield in your lane. Like, you can put your Braum shield in front of the Alistar, so the enemy ADC is unable to hit. And when you do that, your ADC is gonna keep hitting the Alistar, and you're gonna out-trade an Alistar. See, that is the main reason why Braum counters Alistar. Braum is just a really solid pick if you feel like you need that body blocking. Like, if you're against champions that keep shooting things at you, you can body block all of it with Braum. And Braum is just really strong. Let's talk about his ultimate as well. His ultimate is an amazing AoE knockup and slow. It's just incredible. In teamfights, he is incredibly strong. Janna, now, if I'm being honest with you, Janna is strong because the other supports suck. Like, she's almost as strong as Braum, I would say, because she has the really nice slow, she has a good tornado, she has a really nice shield, and her ultimate is amazing to push away enemies that are diving your team, or to just give your entire team a huge heal during a fight. Nami is really strong too, and I feel like she's getting discovered a little bit now. You should definitely give Nami a try, because she's also very strong in the laning phase, especially against a Lulu. You'll be able to out-trade the enemy quite easily. Seraphim actually also works decently against Alistar. That is why she's up in the A tier. And oh, I'm getting called actually, but I'll take it later because the video is almost over. Sona is really good for sustain. Lulu is good with champions like Jinx and Vayne. And honestly, the other ones, as you can see here, I have Ziggs support as well in the C tier, which is kind of funny. But these ones are situational. You really need to be good at the champion for it to work. Honestly, Rakan can be here. Like, Rakan is fine, especially paired with Xayah. But the other champions, not really. Like, you'd have to be really good at them for them to work. So that was it about today's video. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next Wild Rift video. Bye-bye.